Welcome, everyone, to the Talk to Me United podcast, the only independent podcast about Manchester United tactics. My name is Andy, and on the opposite side of the screen is Ali. Manchester United 1, Chelsea 0. Carrick is at the wheel as we inch closer to Champions League football. We will break down the goal and discuss if our 4-2-4 setup is a new thing or only for the big six. And of course, look ahead to Brentford. Ali, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so very, very happy with the win, obviously. Performance, not so much. Didn't think we played amazingly well. But, they got the job done, I feel like that's what this season has kind of amounted to, since Carrick's got the job. And it's you kind of want to balance, right? You want to get the job done, but you also want to play well. I think at this point it's just about getting into Champions League, right? Spent a lot of money on our attack in the summer, and it's all about getting that UCL, man. So as long as we're in there, I'm all good. The positives I'll take is Aiden Heaven. Come on, that's my guy. That's my guy. Like I've seen when I saw him last season a couple of times, I was like, wow, the way he's like, passing the ball, splitting defenses and passing through the lines. Incredible ability. He's got a decent pace. He's can be, assured on the ball. Definitely a risk taker. He can carry the ball as well. I mean, he used to play in midfield. I told you this before. Eden Heaven needs to start every single game for us if he's healthy, because Leach is great. He's always injured at some point, but having another left footer that's assured, that's playing a good amount of games, and let him make mistakes. Like I said last time, he had that run in the team. Let him make mistakes, let him develop, because we're going to need him when we have Champions League football. So he's need to come in and step in. So that's really important that, he had a good game. He was our only centre back. I thought, dude, I felt so bad for Mazraoui, man. Like, I felt so bad for him. Delap was just targeting him the entire game. Like, he was not getting anything from Heaven, but any sort of chance that Chelsea had, like when they hit the woodwork, it was basically Mazraoui not being able to deal with it because he's not a centre back. Like, if it's different if he's playing in a back three because he's got Maguire or De Ligt or someone, with imposing presence back there. But he's next to Heaven. There's one striker and he's peeling off of, him. Yeah, I kind of felt Mazraoui kind of had an indifferent season, he needs to be playing like right back. He's good in tight spaces, and you don't need that as a centre back. Kobe Mainu, defensively, he showed out today. He showed out at the game. I thought that was a good performance. Some of the clips, like wow, like just breaking through the lines. I just thought he did a good job on Cole Palmer in that, especially in that first half. I thought, he was really good. So that's the difference between having Ugarte and having Kobe. Like, Kobe's not a liability like Ugarte. So, yeah, he did his job very well. He didn't, I thought he might look a little rusty or, he didn't. He looked good, man. I was really noticing him a lot. And yeah, very clinical. Cunha again, in London again. Come on, man. This guy knows how to get it done. In the big games, he knows how to get it done. Exactly. But yeah, defensively, decent performance, not really on the ball so much, but we needed the 3 points, and that's basically guaranteed us UCL, inshallah. What are your thoughts, man?
Inshallah. No, I think that this game highlights everything what's wrong or what was going right in this season in terms of we can show up when we can show up against the big teams, right? When we get into it about this 4-2-4 type of press or setup against the big six, it feels like that is our strength in terms of absorbing the pressure, absorbing the attack. But when you have the quick turnovers, you can hit them on the break. And then, that's one. Two, again, Bruno's our ride or die. We're gonna win or lose games based on how he performed, and just like what a play from the byline to get to Cunha. And I've always said this throughout this whole season on the pod. It's like I need to see more of that type of play, going towards the byline, end line, and then crossing those balls in to having like either Sesko get a header or somebody who's trailing like Cunha on it to get those goals. Like I think that's what it is. That was what we need. And yeah, shout out to your boy. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a Heaven Euro legacy game because I think that's what it's going to be. But Euro got hurt. But let's give our props to Heaven and let's give our props to Mazraoui. halal ball member. Halal ball member is on the pitch and he's elevated and boons to elevate his play. So let's go with that because we need to get back halal ball on this team. We've been missing halal ball. Let's go. Let's save it that. But you know, I just think like from the character perspective, I think it's a little bit too late. I think the book is set in stone, in my opinion, that we should move on from him because of the lack of philosophy and a lack of playing style and just the performances have just been so mid, when we win because of brilliancy or luck. But I feel like you know what. It would make me feel better or help me change my mind if like this is going to be the setup of this 4-2-4 and just continue it for the game. Like forget everything else, just do this. Let me see what you could build off of it because I do see that 4-2-4 playing in our strengths in terms of with our wing backs, our full backs, with our wingers. We do have strong midfield there in this too. And just try to go out and play against these teams. Try to go hit them on the attack, direct balls over the top and hit them. I think we spent a lot of money on the attack, so let's see it. Just you found something that works. We've seen this 4-2-4 play work against City, Arsenal, now Chelsea. Just stick with it and let's just see how we can do against like a low block team. So I mean that's what it is, and like I still have the feeling of like let the season to be over. Like that was a nice win, I guess, especially against Chelsea, and shout out to Garnacho for not doing his defensive duties and tracking back and stuff. So he's helping us out again. But yeah, like positives. But I still want the season to be over. Let's just get Champions League and let's just get on with it.
Yeah, yeah, I know. It's funny. Yeah, I think so. I think that's why I'm looking to like heaven, and I'm looking to and I tried to think what other players can we give some game time to? Maybe Mason Mount in center mid, just try him out, right? I think we should be a bit more, do some more experiments because we're not really playing for anything, but thinking about the plan, like when the next coach is coming in, obviously Carrick's just going to do what he wants to do. And dude, I've got this feeling, man, everyone in England, everyone here, the English media, they want him. They all want him to be United manager. They're all gassing him up. Some of the ex-players are as well. And it's like, we both don't really agree with that kind of vision. My only caveat to that is if you do give him two midfielders to put in that starting 11, what can he cook with that, because he is a little bit limited in terms of like pressing and mobility, just on that standpoint. But it's that thing where you see like some other coaches come in and completely change and flip their team around. Carrick's not really done that, and I think he has done the right thing. Like he's getting us into the Champions League, man. Like that, I'm so excited about that. That's where this club should be. Minimum. So it's one of those things that it's just every time like I'm hearing the media, they're just like, yeah, you got to give Carrick the job. Got to give him like a 2-year or 1 year, and I'm just like, my days, man. Like it is a little frustrating because you know how much the media plays a role in these things, man. About like fans' perception and understanding of things, and we'll disagree with it, but Garnacho, dude, what that like, I don't know what's happened to him. He's been vaping too much. Like, he's lost all his ability. Like, he is. I feel sorry for him, man. I actually feel bad. I'm like, this guy is like, he's not doing anything. He's like, it's like, yeah, he was playing
his
for us.
Ego.
He was our right back. Yeah, his ego, but it's like his ability and thought process. And I think the best thing that he's kind of been good at for us in the our last season, and even for Chelsea's, going to the byline and crossing with his left foot, which is
Right.
his like his
Bread and butter.
it's like that's his third best like his third favorite thing to do, right? Like he wants to cut in and score a banger, or he wants to cut in and make an assist, but he's going to the byline and crossing with his left foot is probably his most like used asset, and he's not really using it. So
What's also funny with the Garnacho thing is that, we saw what Shaw posted on social media about pushing him down, and then all the comments are just like going on, like just piling, stuff on it. So where it's like now in social media, people are thinking like he must have said something or did something wrong because he got completely cold shoulder after the game. Nobody said,
yeah,
hi, what's up, pat him on the back. And then all those comments said that, he must have did something or said something to them when he left that they're like, there's no lost love there. Like, he just burned all of his bridges, Manchester United.
Yeah,
And
even
I think
Kobe,
I
man, like
yeah, even Kobe.
that's really bad. Like, because they had pictures going coming to the academy, FA Cup
Uh-huh.
final, both doing really well. So that's yeah, he must have said some shit, and it's just like I'm kind of glad. Like, it's very mature for the United team to just intentionally blank him. That's why you don't cross bridges like that. Yeah, it's just I remember like when he went to Chelsea and my mate's a Chelsea fan, I was just like, nah, he's got potential. You just need to like nurture him and like, he's got pace, you're gonna need that. And then, but the other guy they have is Gittins and like they don't really have good wide players. We're looking at Mbumo and Cunha, two very capable wingers, attacking midfielders. And, I think Arsenal are in a similar boat. And, like, Noni Madueke, like, my God, that guy, Martinelli and Trossard. Trossard's a bit different. He's kind of like one shot, one kill. He has that for him. But I'm looking at Chelsea and Arsenal, they don't really got wingers like that. And then, City, decent wingers. Even Liverpool, they're looking a bit shaky on the wing. So we're kind of set. And, Morgan Rogers, man.
Star boy.
I mean, I reckon he could go to any club, man. Like, if we're gonna keep Bruno, yeah, he could go to any of those clubs I just mentioned, right?
Well, you know what's also funny that you mentioned that about like the wingers are like in the Premier League are a little sloppy, and it's not like they're like what we traditionally grew up as wingers. Especially like I think most Salah has spoiled us of like what a elite winger is. So that's what kind of made me think of like me. What if Ruben is ahead of the game? But it's 3-4-3, and he don't play with an actual winger, but you play with wing backs to do
Mm,
your attacking with. Maybe that was a little bit ahead of the game
it's
for me.
robotic, isn't it?
It is robotic, and we
No.
could see where robotics bottles the league at this point.
Yeah, yeah, and like that's there's the difference between like City. City have Shirky, who I saw this guy talk about. I haven't seen someone excite me this much since Eden Hazard, right? And it's just like that's so true, man. Like I want to see Cherky play, and obviously when he wanted to kill us, he was waiting for that United fixture, and I don't even remember him against us really. I think he was injured for the first derby, and then we obviously beat
He
them in
didn't
the
show
second one.
didn't show up.
Yeah, he didn't show up, so yeah, like that. And he's not really a winger, but man, like some more creativity like that is definitely needed. And Bruno is that. And yeah, I do wonder what Bruno will be like with two competent, mobile midfielders. But what I will say about Casemiro is his passing is incredible. Don't underestimate how incredible his passing through the lines under pressure. He has a radar always with him. So
It's just the legs to recover. That's what kills us. At not having a competent, six or another 6 or an 8 with him to help him out.
yeah, and like kind of like I reckon Kobe at Barcelona would cook. He would cook because he needs two other center mids that are kind of so that one of them's gonna do the work and the other one's gonna like link with him. I don't think he'd do well at Madrid, but he'd do well at Barcelona. Madrid kind of you need to be a bit more mobile because the attackers attack and you got to cover ground. At Barcelona, it's all about playing the ball in like really nice triangles.
We still going back to my argument. We're always trying to find
Yeah,
our own FDJ. So
yeah, no, I don't know. Like, he's not even playing for Barcelona. I take him back. I'd take him at United at this point. But yeah, man, yeah, Mount is not our FDJ.
I
Although
agree. No,
and
I agree.
he
But
had a good cameo. He had a good cameo, man. I thought he looked sharp. He looked sharp when he came on, Mount. I always get worried when he comes on against Chelsea because I'm like that last time when they were completely bottled it, like last couple of minutes in injury time. But yeah, man, I thought Mount looked sharp. I would like to see. I just want to see him in centre mid. I don't think it's gonna happen. I just want to see it. I just want to see what he's capable of.
well, the official math is we need to win 2 more games out of the 5 to clinch Champions League football. So 6 more points out of the next 5 games. So we got Brentford and then Liverpool. So if you get those 6 points right there, the last 3 games of the season are meaningless. That you can start experimenting. Or if
Yeah.
people start, if or the top 2 starts to drop points left and right,
Oh my god, that's
We're back in the title chase. We're not mathematically eliminated yet.
You know what? I was. You just think about all those games we drew, bro, against the bottom three.
Yep, that's what
Like,
cost us.
but like you can't go from from what were we
15.
16th,
15 to
yeah. Like you could do what Spurs are doing, which is going from 17th to 18th. You can do that, right?
we're not
But
Leicester in terms of going from surviving the great drop to winning the league.
exactly. But yeah, man, I think yeah, we do have to see, I think Champions League's basically done. Yeah. I think take care of what bit how many points did you say?
6.
6, yeah. Brentford, got to take care of Brentford. Anything can happen against Liverpool, but I think it's more so you want to finish third just to get that extra like what 1 million, 2 million for each position you're like further up. So yeah,
That's
you
true.
wanna have that, man.
But also too, our schedule's in our favor because of all the because we play Monday night, Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon football, and I think we have one more TV game before the season now. So that's 3 more games. That's a lot more money in the pockets of United.
I don't like the Monday night games. I hate them, man. The players are so off, man. They're so off. Yeah, I've not. Yeah, there's some weird timings that I don't think the players like. Also, I'm still annoyed about Leeds, man. Like Kobe came back fine. He wasn't rusty. He came back fine. Like that was just application. But anyway, we
Same
did
with
win.
Brian. Same with Brian. Brian looked very, like the old what we saw in the first half of the season of playing on the last line, burning through the defenders and coming behind them and then trying to cross or do the passes cut in. I was like, oh, this is the Brian we missed, and it's like I don't know why he didn't play on Monday night against Leeds because I feel like that could
Yeah.
have helped with the game as well. Like, no disrespect to Ahmad. Let's not be let's be real. Like, let's not throw shade at Ahmad. I think he did a good job, and I just feel like the level is up there with Brian.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I think it's like a good shaping attack. It's a good shaped attack, isn't it? But it's just like you want to be more like City than Arsenal. Like City have got a really good front three, and Arsenal have got like an okay front three on paper. Like I can see these United attackers go either way.
mhm.
So yeah, you're hoping it turns out more like City, where they're more ruthless. But yeah, man.
That's where we are standing with Chelsea. So now we're gonna go and break down the goal and a couple of like things that we saw in terms of the setup. So again, we are all of our videos and stuff are presented by Y Scout. Again, we partner up with them this season to help us get and provide the tactical analysis for you. So Ali, take it away.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this is just us in our 4-2-4 formation, and you see Bruno just trying to orchestrate where people are. And very clearly here, we got the four at the front, and then the two in midfield, and then the four at the back. And this was, pretty much throughout the game, and I thought, worked reasonably well. Just that space either side of the center mid was just getting exposed, and once you beat one of them, you're basically in with the switch. And you're gonna see that on this clip too. So roll the clip on, and you're gonna see here we set the trap where there's Casemiro's come all the way in, and Boomer and Bruno they're trying to trap. I think it's Neto in between all of them. Oh no, that's not Neto. Someone. And then there's a player in that is Neto, and I think there's Enzo that's free. And Dallo now has a problem because he's supposed to be on Cucurella, but obviously Enzo's now going to be free. But when you roll the clip on, you're going to see Dallo go with Cucurella, which is the right thing to do. Enzo, or no, Neto has all that space, does a really good switch, and if that gets to its target, Luke Shaw's got a big problem here because you got the other Chelsea player that's making the run inside, and the winger's gonna be attacking Luke Shaw. So that's when Aiden Heavens probably gonna come along because Cunha's been played out, right? He's just out there. He's not really gonna have anything to do. So yeah, if Chelsea got that right, they were in. So that's just a bit of like a weakness to the 4-2-4. But for the most of deny. Like we did it pretty well. But definitely when you're playing that 4-2-4, you just need to make sure that both, wide players are working hard. And Bumo, he did his job down here, and it's just you need Cunha tracking back as well, which he is getting a lot better at. But yeah, what are your thoughts?
No, spot on. You know, yeah, the switch of play is kind of like the only defeat. The switch of play is kind of like the only beat to our 4-2-4. But go.
Yeah. Okay, so the key information about this clip is that Wesley Fofana is off the pitch, so we are playing against 10 men, and that's the centre back that's off the pitch. So you can see here that Dallow's going to come inside and Mbumo's going to go outside. And that switches up. That gives Mbumo the space to receive. And again, you can see that front four across the pitch. And Dallo actually makes a movement back inside, and then Mbumo first time is going to hit this into space because you know Bruno is going to be running into that space. That's the importance of hitting these first time passes into space. It means your opponents don't get.
So we're switching it up today. I'm just going to do 2 bits of our 4-2-4 press. Or sorry, let me rewind that. Today I'm going to do an analysis of my own self here, showing us how we're playing out of the back and just going into this 4-2-4 setup. And then for this case, yeah, 4-2-4. No, wait. Damn it, I keep messing it up. I had my notes here. Hold on.
You need notes?
I need
Man
notes.
needs notes.
Sorry. Let me go back and start over because I had you have a point
You're
here,
good,
I
man.
guess.
Take your time. You're good.
So today we're going to switch it up and I'm going to give out this analysis of us trying to play out of the back here. I think our man's Carrick is afraid of RDZ because this is a RDZ kind of setup where we having the goalkeeper coming into play to set up a 4 with him included with our 2 center backs and Shaw as our left back to make the 4. We have our 2 midfielders in the middle where we see Casemiro and Kobe. And then we have 5 up front, Bruno as the 1. And then we have our 4. They were Delo, Brian, Sesko, and Cunha. So I thought this was interesting of trying to progress the ball out and utilizing the goalkeeper into progressing the ball and carrying out. And that's why I keep saying like this is like RDZ because RDZ has used this at Marseille and now has been using this now at Spurs to come out. So I thought that this is a very interesting tactical click of trying to include your goalkeeper in the line to progress the ball forward. And it kind of fits into what we saw throughout the game of playing the ball out. And then once Chelsea has the ball, go into a 4-2-4, essentially man press to help put pressure on them and help create turnovers and from Chelsea. But quick thoughts about this setup here.
Yeah, no, and it's nice that you have the goalkeeper as an extra man, because you want to create an overload when you're coming out. So yeah, it's interesting how it's like this game was a lot more man to man than I thought it'd be.
Yeah, and again, I don't know if this is just him doing as a utilizing this for a top 6 matchup, as we saw with Chelsea and sorry, with City and Arsenal in the beginning of beginning of his reign, or this is how he's going to try to change tactically for all the games. And like I said, I want to see this all game, no matter what the opponent is, just have a philosophy. You can find the overload against a low block, by overloading certain sections or finding the weakness or playing behind. But just keep this as a setup. And then here progressing down to when we have possession of the ball, we're going back to our old ways under Ruben, having a back 3, 2 in the mid, and then 5 on top. So setting up in a 3-2-5 in possession. Chelsea's trying to do man to man here, but we're trying to get into certain spaces and try to overload certain areas of the pitch. Any quick thoughts here?
Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing is you got Bruno in the middle, and that's like the biggest difference between Amarim, right? Amarim wanted him, lower down, and I think that over reliance becomes, because he needs to be higher up the pitch, and that's where he makes an impact. I also understand why you'd want him in midfield because other than Kobe's more of a progressor of the ball, and Casemiro's a distributor. Other than Casemiro, they haven't got another distributor at the club, so can't really blame him for that.
True that. But like I said, I just want to see this as going forward in the next 5 games,
Yeah.
not just save this for the big teams.
Yeah,
So
I think there's a reason why it worked for the big teams though. Like you show more respect to them, and then you kind of want them, you want to counterattack them, right? And then the
right.
smaller teams they're just gonna be even more compact than this, right? So I mean, yeah, I guess what I would want to see is I would rather like Kobe be higher against the low block. That's what I want to see, but see, this is why
Now,
Kobe's good against these teams because he gets himself in these tight spaces and he's able to progress the ball. But against a low block, Kobe, what does he do really? Like, um, he's so much better, and that's why he's had another good game. He's had the other good games he had was City and Arsenal.
mhm.
So yeah, I think we're kind of seeing more of like what his skill set is, but he needs to learn how to. He needs to adapt something that makes him valuable against a low block. Or, we're gonna need someone like a Wharton. Wharton is more of that player that can pick a
Mhm.
pass
And break the lines.
and break the lines. Like he's probably better than all those other comparisons that we did, right? He's the best
Mhm.
at doing that. Even though you still want him? I don't know, man. But in this, it's interesting, isn't it? Like you, Anderson and Tonali, you want one of them, but then you also need someone that's gonna break the lines and feed it to Bruno and our attackers. That's so vital. It's the Paul Scholes role. We
Mhm.
really need the Michael Carrick role. We need one of those because Cass is going. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny when you mentioned that you want um, Kobe up further up on the pitch because then we're going back to reverting back to Ten Hag's uh, tactic in possession of a 3-1-6.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, yeah. Like yeah, I think obviously with not Cass, right? Not with Cass. But yeah, that's true.
and that's why and that's why we kind of need like a Tenali or an Anderson as that one, so you can have the Kobe's etc. go up the pitch and not worried about dropping back if you were to lose possession.
Who did Ten Hag have in his the back three?
So what he did was in the back three was he would have
Leacher?
Licha, Cass,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Varane because
Va-
Cass used to drop into the back three because he liked to play both Shaw and the low up above a little bit
yeah.
above. One of them was up on the pitch to make the six, and then one's inverting
Yeah.
into the
Yeah, it's
midfield.
I joke about my memory. So that's why you can't have Cass as back there, man. Like,
Right, exactly.
yeah, that's criminal. I'm surprised he didn't catch that. But yeah, I think it's different, isn't it? I feel like with different personnel, we could do that 3-1-6 and not be so overrun. But at that point in time, just goes back to like Carrick's utilizing the formation and the squad, right? He's not
Uh-huh.
we don't know what his like philosophy is yet. Whereas Ten Hag, like he did change, right? He changed from his like philosophy, and then he thought something else would work, and that really didn't work. And then Ruben tried something that was completely his, an original, just didn't have the players for it, wasn't working so much. So Carrick's engineered this team really well. And we're still in this gray area of like we don't know what we could be. It can either be really good or really bad. We don't know yet. Gotta find out.
And that's why it's a combination of both having the right coach and philosophy and personnel, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah, yeah. And that's hard, man. That's hard to get right. You can have 6 seasons in the Premier League and still get nowhere. Let
You
me
get
just drink. Let me
semi-fin.
just drink my bottle. Oh god.
That's why when 007 hits, 007 hits, it's gonna again, we're gonna be live and direct in 4K for this 007.
Oh no.
But yeah, this is just a breakdown of, how we're coming out of the ball in this like including the goalkeeper to be a fourth man in the 4-2-6 or and then now here in possession 3-2-5. So that's it for this, and now I'll turn it over to you. Thank you, Ollie, for breaking it down. Again, all of our clips are presented by Y Scout. We partner with them for this season to help us provide us the clips so we can give you the tactical breakdown analysis. So now that with Chelsea's in the books, we look ahead to another Monday night football game against Brentford. Brentford are in competition for European place as well. Apparently, it's quite funny. The mid-table after like Chelsea's like 48, and it's like only like 3 or 4 points to separate sixth to like 12th place.
Which is wild, man, because like I said, man, if Villa win the Europa League, right, that means that whoever's sixth is gonna get that Champions League spot. And you've got all those teams battling it out, man. Like, and I
Uh-huh.
think Palace play today, Monday night. If they win both their games in hand, oh well, one of them is against City. Yeah, we don't want them to win that, but but obviously, yeah, if they win a game, they're on 45, and then it's just 3 points. That's just, between everyone. And Chelsea are in a really bad way at the moment. Yeah, it's like 6th to 13th. No, 14th.
Mm.
48 to 42. I mean, Newcastle could still do something. They just have to rely on other people. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, so now like I said it earlier, we only need 6 points out of the next 5 games to clinch Champions League football. So, I'm hoping that we get the result. We're at Old Trafford at home. Brentford has been like the boogeyman team against us. They're like the new Brighton. Always, these mid teams always like come bite us in the ass of some way somehow. But I'm hoping we get a win and just set us up nicely for Sunday in 2 weeks from now against Liverpool.
Public enemy number one.
Slot's last game before he gets sacked.
I love that, man.
Slot's gonna
Like,
get sacked in the morning
mate,
after
let's absolutely pump them, bro. Like, but yeah.
seven. Let's 7 up them. How about that?
Oh, I'm not sure about that, bro. I'm not sure about that. But Brentford, yeah, listen, that loss against Brentford was quite a shock to, a lot of people. I think that was quite telling of like Rubens, and yeah, I think that's one of those games. You've got some shocks in there. Like, who do we have? Grimsby, and that was a shock, and then that loss away from Brentford after we picked up, a few wins. That was quite tragic. So definitely want to get one over them this time going forward. But just pick Aiden Heaven. I don't care about anybody else. Drop everyone and just pick Aiden Heaven. I beg you. I just want to see him get minutes, man. Like, he's more valuable to us than Leacher because, like, I'm telling you, he's got height. He can do what Leacher can do. Not as well yet, but yeah, man. He's more of like what you would want from a centre back. Put Leacher in midfield. Figure out a way, man. Get Aiden Heaven in the team.
So you're not selling Licha in the summer if somebody comes around with like 3 mil.
Yeah, I would sell him for that price. Yeah, I'd sell him for that price. Nothing less than that though. Nothing less than 30 mil. Because that's how much belief I've got in Aiden Heaven, man. That's genuinely I wouldn't mind him. Okay, maybe I'm getting a bit too carried away, but let's see. Let's just see. Like, I can give you more of an answer at the end of the season if he starts every single game. Like, let's see Lenny Yoro and Aiden Heaven next to each other. I want to see that. Like, we got nothing to lose. So, very happy that Harry Maguire signed his extension. I think that's perfect for us. We needed him against Leeds because that second goal, definitely Harry Maguire clears that up with his header, man. He's just so valuable in our box. Yeah, man. I don't know what's happened to Delict. There's no update on Delict. What's happened to him is I think he's like maybe there's something in that, you know, that Dutch kind of Malasia. He's giving Malasia vibes, and I don't like it at all. Um, does he not want to go
Well,
to the World Cup? I don't get it.
I have no idea, but he has not left, United to go get medical treatment in the Netherlands. That's what also messed up Malacia
I mean,
at that.
Malasia is that's a really sad case, but Delict, man, what's happened to you, bro?
Yeah, he was our fridge, our one, our Iron Man, and then tweaked his back, and now it's like
Cause
miss the second
that
half of the season.
and that's gonna we don't want to address the centre back situation, but now we might have to if that is like a real big problem. If Delict is like basically, I don't know, not I don't want to say finished, But if he's gonna turn out like Leacher, yeah, because you need someone next to Euro.
Mhm.
I don't know. Euro's kind of he needs
you
yeah,
need
he
at
needs
least
something else.
you need at least 5 center backs.
And we've got like
We do
three.
have the 5.
No, but like
Well,
that you can rely on. I'm gonna say Harry Maguire is someone you can rely on. Aiden Heaven is normally fit, although he does have injury problems himself, but he's still young, innit? And same as Lenny, like I think when you're young and you play that centre back role, you're gonna pick up muscle injuries because of like your recovery pace and stuff like that. So I'm surprised Kobe, he's not missed much. Like, well, I guess he's only played the second half of the season. Yeah, like again, midfield is another one of those areas. Yeah, man. Pick Kevin.
that's what you want. That's your boy.
I like he'll make mistakes. He'll make mistakes. That's fine.
And that's fine. And then, if we want to come, if we want to be like, Manchester United DNA, it's what is it about? Youth and courage. So play your
Yeah.
youth, they have the courage to do it. Play your youth. Deal with the
And
mistakes, but it's a learning process that they'll, be better off in the long run because, you once you get through the Leaches and the Delits, in 2, 3 seasons, you're setting up a prime or starting in their prime, Euro and Heaven, and there's your right-footed and left-footed center backs for the next, how many years that they want to be here, and it works out for both sides. So
yeah, yeah. I do see I don't know. I'm getting too hyped over Heaven, I can't lie. I just there's something about Euro where I'm just like, you just need some aggression in your game. He doesn't have that aggression. I think he's and like decision making, I don't think it's there. And I see
so
that
that
more from Heaven.
well, that's why I've suggested if you send Euro on a
No,
Saliba type loan.
60 million, man. You have to play him. You have to coach that into him. You can't send him on loan, man. That's
Wasn't
way too.
Saliba like 40, 50 himself?
No, Saliba was like 25. Yeah. And Arteta didn't like him when someone had something against him. Like he shouldn't have gone out on loan, but I mean, yeah, I guess it worked out in that sense. But he went to the French league, and Euro's come from the French league. Euro, yeah,
Wait, didn't he go to Sevilla?
no,
Or
he went
Saliba?
to Saliba. No, he went to a French team. Pretty sure he went to a French team. But yeah, man, I
Interesting.
just think Euro, man, he just needs some aggression in his game, decision making, and yeah, I just Aiden Heaven, the way he breaks the lines and he progresses the ball it's so good, man. Wasn't it
That's
like
true.
not
Yeah, he
Lille?
went
It
to
was
Marseille.
Marseille.
He went to Nice and Marseille. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man. But yeah, like in terms of future, I still think we might need one more centre back. Just like I don't think it's a priority. And it's just like Mazraoui, man. Mazraoui's a squad player at this point. I really did not like him as centre back. I really didn't. Yeah, like squad player for right back and left back is fine. You can't like he was the emergency of the emergency, which is fair. Like you didn't want to play Cass there, so fair enough.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was going to go play Cass in the center back, to be honest with you, but it worked out for everyone. But look,
Did.
hey guys, we're coming close to the end of the season. After Brentford, it's 4 more games till we start fresh again. But hey, we're 6 points away from Champions League. We're almost there. And hey, I feel good about the team. But like I said, I want the season to be over. I just want to move on to think about the tactical of who's going to fit into where and things of that nature instead of, is Carrick saving his job in a 4-2-4 setup
No.
and stuff? But look, likes again. If you like the content again, please like, subscribe. We're seeing all the engagement on TikTok. Let us know what we want to do better. But again, Ali, it was a pleasure breaking down this Chelsea matchup. Suck it, Garnacho. Suck it, Chelsea fans. Y'all going to administration sooner than later. So enjoy a while. All right, everyone. Well, it was a pleasure, Ali. And again, we'll catch you guys on the flip side after the Monday night game against Brentford. We'll get your analysis after that. But we'll speak to you guys then.
Peace.
Peace.